Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Daily Nerd Live for Sunday, the 7th of December 2025. How are you guys doing? Shiz the freaking bed. What the hell has just happened over the last couple of days over this weekend? Because, oh my goodness, so much has been happening. So welcome to a very, very extra special Daily Nerd Live. Usually, you guys, I do about 3-4 stories on the misadventures of Harry and Meghan, right? However, today, oh my goodness, there's so much that has been coming out over the last few days that this whole live stream is dedicated to this one message. Megzy, call your freaking dad, right? Don't email him or try to, and we're going to get into all of it, best believe, right? Don't try and Skype him or Zoom him, right? Just call him, right? Or better yet, call your sugar mama and get on a private jet and go to the Philippines and see him in person. But at least call your freaking dad, Megs. Come on, right? Right? So, yes, today we are going to get into the very, very dark truth behind Megsy's email to her father, Thomas Markle Sr., after they had to amputate his leg. Like, this is absolutely horrific. And what makes it even more so is Megsy and her reaction, her response to it all, what she's done that we know of, right? From what the press and everyone else has been reporting, right? You guys may have noticed there was no Friday Daily Nerd Live. There was a reason for that. With everything kicking off Thursday, Friday about it all, I thought, do you know what? I want to wait. I want to wait until Sunday and see what else comes out, right? Because on Friday, yeah, pretty much, it was all about Megsy did contact her father. He did contact her father. And now we find out that that's not actually the case with this email. Like, shiz the freaking bed. So let's get into the rundown first and foremost as to what you can expect on this very special Daily Nerd Live for Sunday, the 7th of December, 2025. So yes, the dark truth behind Megsy's email to her father after his leg amputation. It's all focused on this particular rabbit hole. So, first up, we're going to get into an update, right? What's happened now to Thomas Markle Sr. in hospital? What is the most up-to-date information that we know or that I could find anyway? So we're going to get into that first. And then second up, we're going to get into, call your dad, Meg. Pressure on Megsy rises for her to actually call her dad. So we're going to get into that second. And then third for this particular story, did Megsy contact him? She says she emailed him. So we're going to dive into the very, very dark truth behind Megsy's email to her dad that she claims she sent. Yeah. What did she actually send him? What's really going on here? So we're going to get into that. And then we're going to get into Megsy's email fail. And for now, I won't say anything more than that. So stay tuned on this very special Daily Nerd live stream. Then finally, we get on to the one final plea from Thomas Markle Sr. to Megsy. And I got a question for you all. When we go through that particular section, ask yourself this. Do you think she'll listen this time? I'm not going to hold my breath. What do you guys think? So that is what is coming up for today's very special Daily Nerd Live for Sunday, the 7th of December, 2025. The dark truth behind Megsy's email to her father after he got his leg amputated. Life and death situation we're finding out here. Before we jump into the main topic for today's special live stream. A little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, you guys may not know this. I've not plugged it for a while, but if you want even more content from me, then head on over to my second channel, Political Nerds. For those that don't know, I actually do have a degree in international relations and security studies, right? Megsy tries to flower hers up. We all know what that degree really is, right, guys? But I actually have one. Yes. Absolutely bona fide. So politics is my academic wheelhouse, and oh my goodness, we are having so much fun over on Political Nerd. So if you haven't made the jump already, please do so right now. For those watching live on YouTube, the link is pinned right at the top of the live chat. If you're watching on the replay, it is in the description bar below. And for those that are watching on X, hey up, guys, how's it going? Evening. Thank you so much for tuning in over on X. I'm just gonna pop in my second channel link right now. So just give me a moment. There we go. I've just popped in my channel link over on X, on the live chat there. So do check me out over on Political Nerds. A couple of thank yous, my goodness, before we jump in. Wow. Carol, thank you so much for the $4.99 sugar bucks. Really appreciate your face there, my goodness, saying what a debacle. Absolutely. And we are going to get into the debacle in a moment. We are going down that rabbit hole, guys. You have no idea how much information I've got for you guys today. Also, as well, hearts in the chat right now for Flapper27, always bringing it and being extremely generous. My goodness, $50 sugar bucks. Hearts in the chat. Definitely ruining a shiz ton of Sugar's days by sending a shiz ton of sugar bucks my ways. Which, by the way, stay tuned for a video tomorrow that I'm planning because the Sussex squad, oh, they are going to be named and shamed when it comes to what is happening to Thomas Markle Sr. at the moment. Absolutely disgusting. Want to know more? Make sure you subscribed and tune into one of my Daily Nerd videos tomorrow. But Flabber27, my goodness, ruining a shiz ton of Sugar's days, and you're not getting a tear out of me for that one. Saying continued prayers of healing and recovering for Mr. Markle. Abso-freaking-lutely. I wanted to say that before really kicking off the story for today by saying, look, you know, we have to remember that amongst all this drama, we have a very elderly gentleman that's not of good health, that has suffered strokes and heart attacks in the past, that has now had this life-changing event happen, this life-changing tragedy that's happened whereby they've had to amputate his leg. Like, this is, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, best wishes, good thoughts, good vibes to not only Thomas Markle Sr., but, you know, all his family at the moment, including Megsy, right? You know? Let's not be, you know, what is it about this? Regardless of what we think about Megsy, this is her father, right? So, you know, even to her as well, right, guys? We do have to be the better people here. And Jeffrey Crownwell, thank you so much for that very kind $5 sugar bucks. Really appreciate your face. Thank you so much. With that being said, guys, yeah, let's jump into the main topic. Now, if you just give me one moment, I just need to change something in the background. For those that don't know, it's just me. I don't have anyone else helping me. I'm the one that sets everything up. No one else is helping me. It's a thing. I do have a bit of help behind the background in terms of finding stories, but that's it. Whilst I'm here live, it's just me. So whenever anything needs changing in the background, I've got to do it. So bear with me one moment. Give me one moment. Sorry, just give me one moment, guys. I'm nearly done now, guys. Okay. And we're back. Thank you so much to everyone that was waiting whilst I was doing that little change in the background. With that being said, let's crack into it. Yes, the dark truth behind Megsy's email that she claims she sent to Thomas Markle Sr. Now, let's go right to the beginning. Let's get an update, the most updated information that's out there as to what's going on with Thomas Markle Sr. right now. So we find out, right, earlier on this week that Thomas Markle Sr. was in hospital in intensive care, that this was essentially a life or death situation. We then find out that he had to have his leg amputated. As it says right here, that he underwent a 3-hour operation on Wednesday to remove his left foot and lower leg after a blood clot cut off circulation and the limb turned black. His son, Thomas Jr., confirmed the news last night, saying, "My dad is being very brave. His foot turned blue and then black. It happened very quickly. I took him to a local hospital and they did some scans and an ultrasound and said that the leg had to be amputated." And so the doctors immediately took Markle Sr. into surgery, removed his leg, and then you've got Tom Jr. saying, look, there was no option. I was told the leg had to be removed, and it was a case of life or death. And so reactions were coming through, right? Like this one here on X from Ture Bakahai, and if I've mispronounced his name, I do apologise, saying, this is incredibly sad news about Thomas Markle. Really terrible. And yeah, it is. I can't argue with that, right? And here's another reaction from one of my good mates from the Sidley twins, Stephanie herself, saying, quite simply, this is heartbreaking. And it really, really is. Now, more information about Thomas Markle Sr.'s dire health situation started to come out, with the Daily Mail here reporting the following, that he now faces another procedure to remove a blood clot in his left thigh. So if you think that the leg amputation was done and dusted, that was it. No. There's more that's happening here. And so Tom Jr. said that doctors remain extremely concerned for his father's welfare and that he remains in the intensive care unit but is in stable condition. Tom Jr. says one of his doctors said the next 2 or 3 days are critical. His left leg has been removed below the knee. They were worried about infection setting in, sepsis or gangrene. The flesh was black and dying. There was no option given. It was either we have to operate now and remove the leg or he may die. It was a life-threatening situation. Now, at the time, you can see right here, it says, a spokesman for, and I ain't calling her by a title, Meghan Markle, declined to comment on her father's hospitalisation and apparent foot amputation. Yeah, staying quiet on this one. Megsy, and I'm sorry to kind of use this analogy, but she shot herself in the foot. She shot herself in the foot. It was only a couple of days ago that she released her With Love Megsy Christmas special saying Christmas is all about family. Family's the most important thing. Blah, 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 right? Well, It's Christmas time. Family's the most important thing. Your own flesh and blood, your father, is in hospital, in intensive care, in another country. Absolutely tragic what's happening there. And you're staying quiet. Like, seriously. Call your dad, Meg. Call your freaking dad, Meg. Because this is the thing, right? From what I've just been saying, Megsy was slammed for being a hypocrite over not reaching out to her father whilst he's in hospital, whilst he's in intensive care. Now, at the time of reporting, right, it was understood, according to Daily Star, here, that Megsy, at that point, as of writing this article, had not reached out to her father despite his health crisis, right? This has divided opinion, though Megsy has faced harsh criticism in one newspaper opinion column today. Jan Moir, a seasoned columnist, wrote, Mr. Markle has been exiled, banished, cancelled and snubbed for 7 long years by the Sussexes, treated like an embarrassing sack of family rubbish, hurriedly put out with the bins, while the Duke and Duchess got on with their gilded lives. She's shown no compassion over the past few weeks, not one drop, as her father suffered one health blow after another, from 2 heart attacks on the eve of her wedding to a massive stroke in 2022 that robbed him of the power of speech. She then highlights Megsy's hypocrisy. She says she makes treats and cosy memories for loved ones while simpering about warmth, love, friendship and family on the Netflix set. An eager crew of celebrities and new friends, right, i.e. total strangers, have gathered to grease up the old Dutch as if she were a fattened goose, and the on-screen mood is very, come let us adore her, oh Christ the Lord. It's not the hypocrisy that gets me, it's the pity of it all. Now, this is the thing, right? Radar Online even reported that a source close to the Markle family said the following to them, right? They said, it's heartbreaking for the Markle family. He's literally fighting for his life, and Meghan has yet to reach out. The family are frustrated because reconciliation is what everyone hoped for, especially in a moment like this. So another added, Thomas Sr. has always wanted to mend things. The lack of contact now feels like a deep wound reopened. And with Meghan constantly posing as this hippy-dippy loving mum at home in her Netflix shows, it really rankles. It's pure hypocrisy. Now, you can imagine, and quite rightly so as far as I'm concerned, right, that the pressure on Megsy to contact her father started to increase even further, right? As we found out more about the hospital system in the Philippines and how this is affecting Thomas Markle Sr. And this is all thanks to Andrea Juncker on X, right? As she says the following here, I've learned a little bit more information regarding Mr. Markle's current health situation. In the Philippines, they want cash for hospital care. And given his health these past 8 or more years, he would be denied extended health coverage. If he's had any type of life-altering surgery, he'll need to go to rehabilitation and be fitted for mobility devices. No matter how pissed you may be about your father, Megsy, remember he is your dad, the one who sacrificed so much to ensure you made it to the Golden Gates. Pick up the phone, millionaire, and pay for your father's expenses. If you ignore this, you'll have finally convinced the planet that you are a piece of shit. Signed, everyone. And I'm more than happy to put my signature to that, right? And this is the thing. Megsy did not help herself at all. Because for her first public post since the news of her father broke, and I reported on this earlier on this week in a video, she shares a clip of Hazel on the Colbert Show. Rather than either staying silent or, if she is going to go public and say something about her dad, right? This is the thing, though. The Morvon didn't stop here. Oh, no. She then starts thinking it's the best idea in the whole wide world, right? That whilst her dad is in hospital, in intensive care unit, in a life or death situation, she thinks then after sharing that clip of Azza being on Stephen Colbert, that the best idea in the whole wide world isn't then afterwards to quickly follow up with, oh, shiz, yeah, me dad. No. She thought it was the best idea in the whole wide world to promote her new as ever chocolate bars from a brand. Yeah. If there is any example right now as to why people dislike Megxie, Exhibit A on a long list of exhibits, right? This is just the start of a very, very long line of exhibits. Like, she's the freaking bed, right? Your dad's in hospital, in intensive care unit. It's a life or death situation. And instead of either staying silent or publicly addressing that situation, instead she shares a clip of Hazza being on the Stephen Colbert show. And then after that is like, oh, I could do one better. Releases a chocolate and then starts pimping that. Always complain, always explain on X, right? Said the following about this. All I'm going to say is you'd have to be insanely heartless to promote chocolate knowing your father has lost a leg. Couldn't have said it better myself. And in response to this chocolate release, right, Andrea Juncker, as far as I'm concerned, said it best on X, saying the following: you need to report on your father. You need to report on a father in ICU rather than stupid chocolate pop bars. And this is Andrea responding to People magazine reporting on this rather than a father. Like, no one gives a shiz about her chocolate bars. What the frick? She shouldn't even give a shiz about her chocolate bars right now. She should give a shiz about what the hell is going on with her dad in another country on the other side of the freaking world, right? Now, it wasn't just Megxie's brand as ever that was getting pummeled on the internet for its poor timing of promoting chocolate, whilst their founder's father, right, lies in hospital in ICU. And it wasn't just Megxie herself getting pummeled on the internet for her poor timing of pimping out Azza on the Stephen Colbert show, but saying nothing about her dad in public, right? But yeah, Actual Foundation also got in the neck too. Quite rightly so, by none other than Piers Morgan, saying the following here. Reminder that Archewell's official slogan is show up, do good, unless your father's lost a leg. Then it's ignore him. Now, the question then comes up. Did she call him, right? Did she call him? Did she contact him in any way, shape or form? And so after this, right, rumours started to filter through that Megxie did reach out to the hospital, with Royley Sage on X here reporting on what Sean Neal says, saying, according to Sean Neal, Rachel had the hospital contacted to see if her dad was faking it. Reminds me of her attitude towards Prince Philip, who was in the hospital. She thought the palace was trying to keep her from being interviewed with Oprah. The pattern repeats. Now, this was also reported at the time by The Times. Here, they said that Megxie had instructed aides to find out if her father is unwell, following reports that he's had emergency surgery. Spokesman for Megxie told The Times, we've been trying to understand the veracity of the claims made in the Daily Mail, but we have not been instructed to reach out to her father. He added that they have been instructed to clarify the truth of the reports by other means. So, even by the mouth of Megxie's spokesperson themselves, right? A bitty conspiracy theory, whatever, they've just confirmed what Sean Neal has said here. That Megxie initially reached out to find out if Thomas Markle Sr. somehow was faking it. Are you shizzing me? So, she don't call him. No. She opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, based on what I've just given you right there, has this question in her head of, not, oh, is my dad all right? Let me check. No, it's, is my dad faking this? Who the F thinks like that? Who the F thinks like that? Does that mean that every heart attack he's had, Megsy's initial question is, did he fake it? How about the last stroke that he had? And that was reported. Did Megsy initially think, even then, did he fake it? Like, this is freaking insane, right? Now, Megsy, she denies these claims, right? Via her spokesperson, saying the following right here. The Duchess of Sussex spokesperson denied the claims about the Duchess asking her aides to reach out and told the Daily Express this is complete fabrication. No aides have been instructed to reach out. Well, who's the spokesperson that spoke to the Times then? That pretty much said that, as far as I'm concerned. Someone's a liar, pants on fire, and I tell you something, Megsy's got form, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. And don't you worry, we're going to get onto this email in a moment, right? Now, in the meantime, Angela Levin responded to this, saying the following, beyond disgusting, and she couldn't even take responsibility for her aides. No wonder she is not liked. Yeah. Now, we then start getting reports that Megsy possibly did reach out, but personally rather than via aides, right? Because the reports that she reached out via her aides to find out if her father was faking it or not, not a good look. Better look is if it's out there that she reached out personally, right? To find out what's really going on. Okay, you see the manipulation there? I do. Do you? Any of you, right? This is highly contested, whether she's personally reached out or not. I'm going to get onto that later in this stream, so stay tuned for that, and the email is coming up. However, following the timeline, right, I then see this on X from Chris Shipp, saying, after reports her father, Thomas Markle, is seriously ill, we hear Meghan has reached out to him to find out what's happened and what his condition is. Father and daughter have not spoken since Megsy's wedding to Harry in 2018. Now, let's get on to Megsy's email fail, right? Because soon after that, we then start getting reports that she didn't call her dad, or she didn't get her aides to call her dad or call around to see if her dad's faking it, this, that, and the other, right? No. We then start getting reports that Megsy sent an email, but was struggling to send this email because she was confused. So here, GB News was saying that they had learned that Megsy had actively attempted to contact her father, sending him an email at 11:53 a.m. Pacific time on December the 5th. A source close to Megsy told GB News the Mail made no attempt to contact the Duchess's team prior to publication to verify the claims in their report. Had they asked, particularly in light of the quotes they relied upon from Mr. Markle and hospital staff, we would simply have told them to ask Mr. Markle to check his email. We first saw the story only after it was published. We immediately informed the Mail that the Duchess had in fact emailed her father, a detail we had deliberately chosen not to share in order to avoid further dragging this private matter into the public eye. Now, then says, despite reports claiming the email address hasn't been active for at least 5 years, it's understood that Megsy received no bounce back or block, suggesting that the email is still active. This email address, they report, was provided directly from Thomas Markle Sr. to Megsy when they were still in regular contact. It's thought that Megsy believes that her father regularly uses email, despite family friends claiming that he doesn't. GB News understands Megsy's aides have attempted to contact the Daily Mail to resolve the confusion, asking for an updated email address or phone number to contact her dad, but have not heard back. Thomas Markle told the newspaper he had not changed his phone number since becoming estranged from his daughter. so she could always get in touch with me. Now, my question, right, with this whole email situation, yeah, whether you believe she sent it or not, why email him in the first place, right? Thomas Markle Sr. said that Megxie still has his phone number. Hasn't changed it for a specific reason, to ensure that if ever Megxie wanted to call him, she could. So why didn't she call him instead? So I thought about this, and I thought, well, let me think about this. If my mum, right, all of a sudden was rushed into hospital and she's in the intensive care unit, how would I contact her? Instinctively, I'm going to call her. And if I can't get through to her, I'm going to go to hospital. And I mean, I'm going anyway, don't get me wrong. But the first thing I'm doing is calling. I'm not going to be sending a damn email. That is for certain. Even if my mum was all up in technology and emails, this, that, and the other, which, by the way, she's not. Bless her. But you know what I mean? Even if she was up with the whole technology and au fait with emails, this, that, and the other, my first thing would not be to email my mum. My first thing would be to call her. And then regardless, after that, freaking visit. And if she don't answer the phone, I'm still going to go down to the hospital and visit her, right? Either way, I'm going. But I ain't emailing her. So I thought about this a little bit further, and I thought, okay, let me ask Google. Why would you email a family member instead of calling them? And this came up that I thought was very interesting, because I was thinking along the same lines. Because I was thinking email is very impersonal. It's very standoffish. There's distance, right? And with an email, you can control a lot more in terms of what you're going to say. You can edit, re-edit before you send it across, right? And there's limited interaction. You don't speak to them over the phone, so you don't hear them. There's not that closeness. It's just an email, that's it. It's like a text message, right? In that respect. So why would you email a family member instead of calling them? Yeah, this is what Google said. Setting boundaries. Email can be a way to establish boundaries, especially with family members who might be overbearing or prone to long, draining phone calls. Gives the individual more control over the flow and duration of the interaction. Even now, Megxie's trying to control her dad, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, and control the situation by controlling how her father is able to speak to her in the first place. And then she has full control over the email. What she's going to say, how she's going to say it. Much more controlled, much more edited, much more curated, right? So in other words, you may email a family member, right, rather than call them, because it's less personal. By emailing, you're maintaining a distance between you and the family member in question. And totally something I can see Megxie choosing as her reason to email allegedly her dad rather than call him whilst he's in the intensive care unit. Because let's put it this way, right? As I said before, if it was my mum in hospital, I'm not emailing her. I'm calling her. And if she doesn't answer or she does answer regardless, I'm then going to hospital. If she's in a different country, like Thomas Markle Sr., then, if finances permit, of course, I'd fly over on the next available freaking plane. Now, Peter Ford on X, I saw this and I thought, yeah, I'm going to include this on this stream. He says the following: not sure sending an email to someone in intensive care unit after a leg amputation is the most effective way to reach out. No. It's not. Not in this scenario. And Maria Montessori on X, well, she asked a really, really good question about this alleged Megxie email, saying, how on earth is a man in intensive care going to see an email? Thomas Markle did not see email from Megxie as he pleaded for contact before he passes away. Now, many out there, including me, opinion conspiracy theory, whatever, do not believe that Megxie sent this email. Or they have their doubts about it. Like Royally Sage right here. Saying, ask and you shall receive. Do I believe this was the actual date and time of the email without seeing it? No. Because in the press, when they're talking about this alleged email, they're saying, yeah, it was sent at 11:53 a.m. Pacific time on Friday. Very specific, that time, right? Yeah, we need better receipts than that. We need to see the email, yeah? You can edit it out, blank the bits, whatever, right? But we don't trust Megxie, yeah? And we don't trust her any further as more information has come out that has thrown into doubt that she even sent this email in the first place. Stay tuned, we're getting onto that. She might have been caught lying about contacting her dad after his leg amputation. Oh, yeah. Now, my good mate, TB, Think Beautiful, calls Megxie an idiot, saying she's pretty sure it's physically impossible to check emails whilst you're in the ICU. Now, looking at the other side to this, so let's keep it 100 here, right? We have Jenny Bond right here, a royal commentator speaking to GB News. Now, she believes Megxie has reached out to her father, saying the following. Here we go.
Well, it certainly hasn't been denied by Meghan's side, and that's something. So I think she probably has contacted her father or the hospital, possibly her half-brother, more likely the hospital, to pass on her good wishes, I imagine, to her father, who does seem to be very ill indeed. He's been in poor health for a long time, but now in intensive care and having his leg reportedly amputated. This does seem to have provoked a change of heart from Meghan.
Do you think that with relationships softening between Meghan Markle and her father, that perhaps there could be some sort of softening between Harry and the king? It seemed as though Meghan Markle, at some points, it felt as though Meghan Markle was almost trying to keep her husband away from his family. Perhaps now she's getting closer to her father again, her husband will too.
Hint. Jenny Bond pretty much says, nah, that's not going to be the case. Now, here you also have Roya Nika, and if I've mispronounced her last name, I really, really do apologise there. And she's reporting on Megxie's alleged email saying the following, that Megxie insists that she emailed her father yesterday to make contact with Thomas Markle, who is seriously ill in hospital in the Philippines after having a leg amputated, amid claims that Megxie has not reached out to him. And if Megxie did send this email, which I don't think she did, right? And we'll get on to why in a moment. We have Charlotte Griffiths right here on GB News saying the following.
Yes, I think she is doing the right thing. I mean, I don't want to be too negative because obviously her father's ill, but it's a little bit late. She's waited till his leg was amputated. He's had another set of heart attacks. He had a set of heart attacks in 2018. And now she's reaching out to him. And
yeah. Never mind. As I said before, right? The heart attacks, the strokes, the other serious health issues that Thomas Markle Sr. suffered from in the past. Never mind about all that, right? Because he didn't hear from Megxie then. But now, she's waited for his leg to be cut off to then allegedly reach out to him. Why not reach out to him when he had his heart attacks? Why not reach out to him when he had the stroke? And his speech was removed as a result of that stroke. No, she had to wait for this extreme, for his leg to be cut off, for her to say, yeah, I've contacted him, I've reached out to him. Now, I say allegedly, and I say I don't freaking believe she sent this email, yeah? Because the Markle family have completely debunked Megxie's email, saying she didn't send one in the first place. And furthermore, pretty much saying that it's impossible for her to send him an email anyways. Because here, you have Samantha Markle, saying the following. He does not have any devices with him. And he's not using his old email address. So nice try, but total BS. And Samantha Markle, oh my goodness, she has been all over this on X, right? Saying the following here. Houston, there's been no contact. Time to stop the PR bullshit, Medusa. And Medusa is her lovely nickname that I totally approve of when it comes to Megsy. Here's another one. You're gullible. Believe it. If he's put on a private jet and put into one of the best hospitals in the United States for care, until then, don't hold your breath. It's likely a PR stunt because of public scrutiny. And here's another one. Bull, he doesn't have his devices with him and he's not using his old email addresses. That's totally BS. She keeps repeating this. He doesn't have any devices with him. He ain't using that email address anymore. She ain't contacted him. It's all BS. It's all PR ploy to make her look better because of the backlash of her not responding to the news when it broke that her father's in hospital in the first place in ICU. She tried to do damage control, but guess what? She's effed up. She's failed. Because not only are the Markle family turning round and debunking Meg's email, saying that she didn't send one in the first place, we even have, quite literally, the hospital where Thomas Markle Sr.'s at, even speaking out and confirming there's been no contact with Megsy towards the dad. Saying the following right here. Hospital source told the Mail on Sunday, Mr. Markle is a VIP patient. Of course, we all know who he is. If Meghan or anyone connected with her had called here, we would have known. It's a big hospital by Filipino standards, but we all know each other and we all talk. We were all confused when we saw the story that Megsy had reached out to her dad. As far as we are aware, it didn't happen. We'd love to see her here in the Philippines, though. So, you've got Samantha Markle. You've got the hospital turning around and saying there's been no contact from Megsy. This whole thing about Megsy emailing him is all BS, this, that and the other, right? Gets even worse for Megsy. Because the other person that's spoken out, calling Megsy's BS on this email situation, is Thomas Markle Sr. himself turning around and saying he ain't got an email from his daughter. Yeah. Thomas Markle speaks out from hospital bed to rubbish Megsy's claims she's contacted him. Even Thomas Markle Sr., yeah, has turned round and said, I've got no contact from Megsy. This email that I'm supposedly getting from Megsy, I ain't got it. Where is this email? I ain't heard from her. What the frickin' deuce, right? So we have Samantha Markle saying there's no email and giving the evidence as to why he doesn't use that email anymore and he don't have the devices with him anyway to access any emails in the first place that he does have. You've got the hospital Thomas Markle Sr.'s at turning around and saying, yeah, we haven't heard from Megsy or her associates. And you even have Thomas Markle Sr. himself turning around and saying, I ain't heard from Megsy. I ain't got an email. I got nothing from her. And Samantha Markle, she backs up her father, saying the following about this email, right? Saying he didn't see it because he doesn't have that old email address anymore. So it's bold to suggest that she sent an email. She could have easily gotten a hold of people at the hospital, so stop shoving that effing bullshit paid PR down everybody's throat. It doesn't work anymore. No, it doesn't. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Thanks to Samantha Markle, the hospital that Thomas Markle Sr.'s in, and Thomas Markle Sr. himself, Megsy has been caught lying about emailing her dad after his leg amputation. Has anyone, this is going to sound really, really strange here, right? But Has anyone watched Mean Girls? So, this is going to start. I mean, Mean Girls, Megs is a mean girl, that kind of jives and links, right? So it's not too far out of left field, this reference, okay? For those that don't know, I'm a nerd in a variety of arenas, one of which is film and TV. Absolutely love it, right? But you know how in Mean Girls, there's many good and well-known sayings, but one of which is that the limit does not exist. Guess what? Meg's email does not exist. The limit don't exist, and Meg's email don't exist. And we know that thanks to Samantha Markle, the hospital Thomas Markle Sr. is at, and Thomas Markle Sr. himself. The Meg's email does not exist. The limit does not exist. Meg's email does not exist. Now you understand why my mind now went to Mean Girls on that one. My mind works in mysterious ways. You know what I mean? But anyway, moving on from that, right? According to Taz, she made, I would say, a very chilling assessment of Meg's claim that she emailed her dad, saying the following right here. What worse is that she's lied about it. She got a spokesperson to say she had reached out, and the hospital has confirmed no phone calls have come in from her or anyone they believe are her staff. She's a total sociopath. Yeah. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, totally agree. Now, Samantha Markle, she accuses Megsy of conducting a PR stunt, saying the following. Gullible, believe it, if he's put on a private jet and put into one of the best hospitals in the United States for care, until then, don't hold your breath. It's likely a PR stunt because of public scrutiny. Megsy claiming that she sent this email, which, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, I do not believe she sent, thanks to testimony from Samantha Markle, the hospital, and her dad himself, right? Megsy claiming that she sent this email, Samantha Markle says it's just a PR stunt because of the public scrutiny. And I totally believe that as well. Now, in reaction to Megsy not emailing her father, which I believe is the case, she's not emailed him, yeah? Queer Lips of Truth II, he sums it perfectly right here, saying she knows how to secretly get into Paris Fashion Week. She knows how to get to the location of disasters and massacres for her PR stunts. But she doesn't know how to reach out to her father. Let us be clear, this is the same monster that didn't reach out after 2 heart attacks. What exactly is his crime that warranted such open hatred? The world and well-meaning and reasonable people should take the time to call Megsy for this despicable attitude. I hope one day your children get to know of how you treated their grandfather who gave you everything. And there's a lot of things in this story that is very heartbreaking, right? I think many people will disagree with me on that one. Perhaps the sugars, but guess what, sugars? I see you in the live chat. You're going to be very, very interested in a video I've got for you guys tomorrow. Oh, you guys are the star of the show in one of my videos. You're going to freaking love it. Anyway. Apart from them morons, yeah? I think the majority of us are very clued up and thinking, this is very heartbreaking what's going on with Thomas Markle Sr. on a number of levels, right? Because it was only, yeah? Let's be very real here. Let's not forget. It was only a couple of weeks back that Thomas Markle Sr. was caught in an earthquake in the Philippines. And as that was happening, he was with Daily Mail's Caroline Graham, and he said the following. If we die tonight, do you think Meghan will come to my funeral? And then joking a little bit, he says, will I get a better funeral? Because my son-in-law is 5th in line to the throne. He might be asking that question right now. This is just pure speculation, right? Of course. But it'd be understandable if he's thinking that right now. In bed, in ICU, in a foreign country, in the Philippines, on other side of the world. He could be thinking that right now. Very sadly. I hope he pulls through. I really do. And let's not forget, also, it was only a couple of years ago in 2023 where he said in an interview, and this made headline all over the world, right? He said in an interview that he refused to be buried by her. It was that Markle Family interview that they did with an Australian outlet on TV. And he was told about Megxie telling the Netflix mockumentary that she created with Hazza, saying that she had lost her dad. And he was then also told that Prince Harry wrote in his memoir that Megxie was mourning the loss of her father. He then says in the show, in the interview, Thomas Markle Sr., she killed me and then mourned me. I refused to be buried by her. And now, even after everything Megxie has done to her dad, right? And what she's put him through emotionally, I refuse to be buried by her. She killed me and then mourned me. A couple of weeks back, he was caught up in an earthquake. From what we know, she did not reach out to her dad and try and help then. From what we know, she didn't reach out and try and help her dad and find out what was going on with the heart attacks that he's had in the past, right? And the stroke that he had in the past. But even after all of that, yeah, all of the silence from Megxie's side when her father needed her the most, right? He still wants to reconcile. And ultimately, is this sadly his final plea to Megxie? Daily Mail publishing on Saturday yesterday that he's begging his daughter to see him one more time before I die. He then says, of course I want to speak to her, but I'm not sure if these are the right circumstances. I've always said I'm open to reconciling with my daughter. I've never stopped loving her. I don't want to die estranged from Meghan. I want to meet my grandkids. It might be nice to meet her husband too. Now, former Royal Gardener Jack Stokes, he reacted to Thomas Markle Sr.'s plea, saying the following right here on GB News.
It is very sad. Thank you for having me on. But, you know, I think what is the biggest problem here is with the Markles, what seems to happen is everything seems to happen in the press. And it's come about that we were told that the Duchess of Sussex had, in fact, contacted him. He's now come out and he's told every single newspaper he can that, in fact, she hasn't. He's looked at all his phone messages. He's sort of rehashed that he's still got the same phone number. And, you know, he's sort of spouting off in the press quite a lot of things, which we've seen. Email. Yeah, no, we've been told that now, but you know, this is what we were being shown initially. We were told she had contacted him, so it's very difficult because we're sort of hearing one thing from the Meghan Markle side and we're hearing another thing from the Thomas Markle side, and it just creates a big mess. So you know, if there was a private email, great, that would be wonderful, and then we can have another private email back and not have anything going on in the press. Like we're seeing with the Duke of Sussex, you know, if he's coming over to England and he's visiting his father, we don't see the problems that there has been. We're actually seeing that, like from an outsider, we're sort of seeing there's no contact, but they actually are probably in contact. They are probably dealing with this in a quiet fashion and trying to sort of do it in more of a, you know, a nice human way and a family way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's a guy called Lewis Oakley, and he's also reacted to Thomas Markle Sr.'s plea on GB News, saying the following right here.
This is Meghan Markle's father sending a plea that he wants to speak to his daughter. He's obviously in hospital, very unwell. We're told he's had to have part of his leg amputated. And I mean, you see this and you just think it's so sad to see this playing out across the front pages. This is, for me, this is the definition of none of our business. This is a private family matter. I mean, he's the one that's gone to the press. And I've got to say, if I were in Meghan's shoes and my dad had gone to the press rather than speak to me, I'd be furious and probably not speak to him. And I think there are a lot of people that don't like Meghan. And I think
This is the thing, right? What they don't understand, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, is that Megxie is not giving her dad any easy way to contact her. He's had to force her hand to get in contact with him, allegedly by this email, which again, I believe has not happened at all, right? But he's trying to force her hand to get in contact with him by going to the press. And he's proven that. I mean, look at what's happened right here, right? At the beginning of this, I explained he went into ICU. We got no public response from Megxie at all about her father. Instead, it was business as usual for her on Insta. And she gets completely ripped apart from doing that, quite rightly so. Thomas Markle Sr. then speaks to the press, and now Megxie allegedly contacts him with this phantom email. And so, if she did contact him, yeah, then her dad going to the press to pressure her to make contact works because he has no other viable option to reach her. And as Dan Wootton says right here, for those saying that we should all mind our own business as to whether Megxie has contacted her dad or not, this is what Dan says. She's made it everyone's business by briefing the media saying she's reached out to her father. Absolutely. Saying that she sent this email, which has been debunked by Samantha Markle, the hospital, and Thomas Markle Sr. himself. Now, Lady C spoke about this situation on X, saying that in her 2020 biography of Megxie and Hazza, she said that her treatment of her father would ultimately prove to be her downfall. And time has proven Lady C right here. And this is the thing. Megxie, as far as a lot of us are concerned, has no good reason to be treating her father like this. But why is she? Well, let's remind ourselves, right, of the BS excuse Megxie has to completely cut her own father off, who gave her everything, right? Thanks to Royal B on X. When I read the first 2 paragraphs here, this man was dropped by his daughter because he made the decision to accept help from a photographer who claimed he could take pictures of him that would improve his image just before his daughter's $30,000 wedding to Harry. He had been embarrassed by the press coverage that was making fun of him. Harry has spoken to him twice since. Meghan used the incident as an excuse to keep her dad from the wedding because she was embarrassed of him. She also knew her dad would enlighten the royal family about his daughter's life, shedding light on her perfect narrative. And for those that doubted his letter to Prince Harry right at the beginning before the wedding, it looks like that not only has time proven Lady C right, but time has also proven Thomas Markle Jr. right as well. But before we round off this story, let me leave you with the final words from Thomas Markle Sr. himself as he said the following. The nurses have told me that people around the world are praying for me, and I want to say thank you for those well wishes. People are so kind. I've been out of it all week, but I'm finally feeling more like myself, and I would like to show people I'm okay. Think about it this way, guys. Strangers, millions of them in the world, right, have more concern and care for Thomas Markle Sr., opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, than his own flesh and blood, Megxie. She claims she sent that email. Samantha Markle, the hospital, and Thomas Markle Sr. have debunked that, saying they ain't got an email. Not a chance. So, has Meghan Markle been caught lying about emailing her dad after his leg was amputated? Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Hell freaking yeah. And for those that are watching, I can see here that 700 of you are watching on YouTube right now, and there's like 360 of you watching on X. Hey up, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate all your faces and your eyeballs and ear holes when I can get my teeth back in. I'm gonna do something I've not done for a while here, okay? Use the vote button. Use the like button as your voting tool. Again, let me get my teeth back in. Use the like button as your voting tool. Hit the like button if you believe that Megxie lied about sending the email to her dad. Do you believe that Megxie lied about sending that email to her dad? I believe she did. Do you believe she did? If you believe Megxie lied about sending that email to her dad, can you just hit that like button right now? Just the quickest and easiest way for me to gauge you guys' opinion to see if you actually agree with me or not. I definitely believe, from the testimony of Samantha Markle, the hospital, and Thomas Markle Sr. himself, that there was no email. What do you guys think? I can see here that 385 of you have hit the like button so far on this. Let's see how many more of you believe that Megxie lied about sending this email to her dad. I definitely think so. What do you guys think? Wow, that just jumped up to 406 of you believing that, yes, Megxie did lie about emailing her dad after amputating his leg. 414 of you now. My goodness, that is jumping up massively there. If you've not used your vote yet on the like button, please do so now. If you believe Megxie did lie about sending that email to her dad, please hit that like button right now. Like I said, it's just as a voting tool, quickest and easiest way for me to gauge you guys' opinion to see if you actually agree with me or not. That's just jumped up to 427 of you believing that, yes, Megxie lied about emailing her dad after his leg got amputated. I'll check back in a few more moments to see how many more of you believe that she's a liar, pants on fire when it comes to that email. In the meantime, a few thank yous before we carry on. Chris Mills, double thank you. My goodness. 2 sugar bucks of £10 each. My goodness, thank you so much for your generosity there, mate. The first one saying, a person with low hygiene levels, filthy nails and feet, plus the smell of dog biscuits, breath of stale white wine should care of anyone that doesn't. Yeah. And thank you so much for being a leader for the last 21 months, saying so proud to be a part of this community. I'm honoured that any of you are part of this community. So thank you so much, you guys. And thanks, Chris, for your second sugar book, saying cowards hide behind emails because they don't have to talk personally on the phone. Emails could be sent by anyone, same as text, gutless communication. I didn't think of it that way. I mean, I'm just assuming that Megxie sent this phantom email, right? She could have got one of her lackeys to do it for her, right? Just like when Megxie invited Taylor Swift to appear on one of her archetype show, and Taylor Swift told her to bugger off, saying, I ain't coming on your show. But it wasn't Taylor Swift that personally wrote to Megxie. It was Taylor Swift's aide, one of her assistants, that wrote to Megxie on Taylor Swift's authority on behalf of Taylor Swift to be like, yeah, I'm writing on Taylor Swift's behalf. Taylor Swift does not want to be on your show. Bugger off. Team roll forever. Ba-bang. You know what I mean? But yeah, you make a good point, Chris. Even if she did send that email, how do we know that she actually wrote it herself? Unless we see the email and we see that it's all a bunch of word salad. If it's word salad email, we know it's definitely from Megxie, right? If it ain't word salad email, then it's not from Megxie. And I mean, I joke, but, you know, linguistic analysis is a thing. I'm just saying, guys. I really am. Princess Carol, thank you so much for your continued support for the last 19 months, saying, breaking news, Harry has just won his security review. Piss off. No way. Excuse me one moment. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Breaking news, guys. Yeah. Shiz the freaking bed. Right, guys. We've got some breaking news. Let's get into it right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to some breaking news. I'm actually live at the moment for the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition, and thanks to Princess Carol for alerting this breaking news as of the time of us going live here. Prince Harry has won his government review into his demand for taxpayer-funded security whenever he, the kids, and Megxie come to the UK. My understanding here, and we're going to get through this right now, is that he has won the battle to force the government to review their decision to deny him the level of security he feels is appropriate that's paid for by the taxpayers. I know, this is freaking sickening. What the deuce is going on? I'm going to be finding out at the same time as you going through this for the first time. So let's get into it. Reported by The Sun as an exclusive, Harry wins government review into demand for armed cops when he visits UK, paving way for a union between King and the grandkids. So Prince Harry has won a Home Office review of the decision to strip him of 24-hour armed police protection on visits to the UK. The U-turn could pave the way for a union between King Charles and Archie and Lily, who live in the US. And so King Charles last saw them in June 2022 during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations when Queen Elizabeth II was still with us. Now, after losing his High Court fight earlier on this year to reinstate his taxpayer-funded security, he blamed it on an establishment stitch-up. And I remember this at the time because I was actually on holiday with Mr. Fox in Gran Canaria, and I was on the beach and just chilling out, sunbathing, and I was only on the beach for about 5 minutes until my phone blew up and it was like, Harry's lost. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be going live from Gran Canaria now. And I did, and we had so much fun, right? But somehow there's a massive U-turn. I mean, I thought it was dead and buried, right? He can't get it. It's done. He's stuck. That is it. Big L, take the loss. That's it. No, he's continued to fight, and now he's getting a review into it? What the hell? How? Why? The Sun can now reveal the Home Office has now ordered a threat assessment for the first time since Hazza stepped down as a working royal in 2020. Now, is this off the back of Hazza sending a letter to the new Home Office Secretary, Shabara Mahmood? Because when the new Home Secretary came in a couple of months back, reports came through that Hazza wasting no time. He wasted no time, right? In contacting the new Home Office Secretary and being like, your predecessor was wrong. Can you get it right? What a manipulative SOB. I'm telling you that right now. And I'm angry because if he wins, I'm paying for his, Megxie, and the kids' security when they come over here at the level that he thinks it's appropriate. rather than the government's. What the frick? I don't want any more of my taxpayer money going to him more than what's needed. Bugger off. Not a freaking chance. It's claimed that his risk rating had fallen during an assessment in February 2020, meaning his automatic right to armed protection was removed. He was at a high risk assessment at one point because of his involvement in the Afghanistan war, this, that, and the other. But, you know, time went on and the threat decreased. So his armed protection was removed. Didn't need it anymore. Sounds good enough for me, right? The Royal and VIP Executive Committee, otherwise known as RAVOC, has now instructed its Risk Management Board to reassess his threat level for the first time in nearly 6 years. If they increase his threat level, he might get back the protection he's been fighting for all these years. Quite rightly, he's been knocked back every single time. I hope he gets knocked back again, and this is the final nail in this damn freaking coffin, I'm telling you right now. It's understood the process is already underway, with evidence taken from police, government and Harry's team. A decision is expected next month from the government's body, which is overseen by the Home Office. Okay, so next month in the new year, we're going to find out if they've increased his threat level, and by increasing it, does it mean that he gets extra protection that he's been fighting for all this time? Oh, I hope not. I hope not. He doesn't need it. Every single time he's come to the UK since leaving the royal family, what's happened? Absolutely naff all. From what we know publicly, of course, right? She's the freaking bed. Come on. He's gone to Colombia. He's gone to Nigeria. He's gone to countries more dangerous than the UK. He's been all right there. Shit's the freaking bed. But yeah, here we go. Confirmation. If it rules that he requires armed protection, then taxpayers would pay for it whenever he's in the UK. Now, at the moment, Hazza still gets protection. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, his whole PR machine is making out that he doesn't get any protection in the first place. But that's totally BS. Because whenever he comes to the UK, he has to apply to RAVOC 30 days before coming. And saying, right, this is what I'm going to do, this is where I'm going to go, this, that, and the other. You lay out a security plan that's appropriate based on what I'm doing in the UK, and that's what they do. Sometimes he does get armed protection for it. It depends what he's doing in the UK. It's a bespoke kind of situation that he gets every single time. And I think that is absolutely reasonable to have. He doesn't, though. Self-entitled, narcissistic freaking prick. He's demanding this from the taxpayer. It's disgusting. Sources have argued that it's more expensive than a few salaried armed officers on the rare occasions he does return. I don't care. I don't care. Give him the bespoke every single time. Every single time. In May, the Home Office said it was pleased with the High Court decision not to reinstate his automatic protection. But of course, Hazza had to take the victim route and be like, without this protection, I can't see a way where I can bring Megsy and the kids back to the UK, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. And more blah, blah, blah. Breaking news, guys. I think we've pretty much got the gist of it, really, to be fair. But she's the freaking bed. How has this happened? He somehow wangled the government to review his demand into the level of protection he feels is more appropriate than what he's getting at the moment. I hope he gets pushed back just like he has been every other time. And if his threat level does increase, then my question is why? On what rationale is his threat level increasing for? Because he's not been in war in a conflict zone for like over 10 freaking years now or something ridiculous like that, right? Last time he was in Afghanistan, that's it, yeah? He's been in America for the majority of his time since he's left the royal family. To our knowledge, publicly, there's been no attempts on his life at all. Please, someone tell me a scenario upon which it would be reasonable to increase his threat level to the point where the government then says, yeah, he needs armed security no matter what, whenever he comes, blah, blah, blah. I don't see it. I don't see any rationale as to why Ravik would increase his threat assessment in the first place. Therefore, giving him more security, blah, 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 blah. I just don't see it. But yeah, guys, breaking news as we are live. He's getting the review he wants. Will it work out for him? I hope not. And I think I speak for a lot of taxpayers when we're like, hell freaking no. He gets enough from us. That is it. Anywho, guys, those watching live, whether on YouTube or next day, exactly where you are, I am not done with you guys yet. But if you haven't done so already, do make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on YouTube for more breaking news. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Stef Alter Nerd. Like, share, comment down below for those watching on the replay, your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. What is your reaction to this breaking news that Harry has won in his attempt for the government to review his security request to look at increasing his threat level to the point where he gets the security he feels he deserves? This is freaking insane. Why they even are considering this in the first place? But I do not see any rationale as to why or how they could increase his threat level. I just don't see it. What do you guys think? If you're watching on the replay, let me know in the comments down below. Again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was a little bit of breaking news there again. Thank you so much to Princess Carol for alerting us on that one. I'm astonished. I'm astonished at this. I thought this was the end of it back in like April, May time. When he lost his appeal, that was it. That should have been the end of it. Dude just will not let go. He needs to learn to freaking let it go. Anywho, let's see what else you guys are saying in the live chat. Whilst I'm looking at the live chat, same rules apply. Anyone that sends super chat sticker, leader only chat, your chats are guaranteed to be read. Anyone else, I'll pick and choose what stands out to me, but your chats are not guaranteed to be read, so please do bear that in mind. I'm only going to be streaming for another minute or so, and then that'll be it, because it's coming up to 11:30 at night, and I need to remind myself what sleep is, so there we go. But anywho, I can see here, so far, 486 of you have used the like button as your voting tool to confirm that, yes, you believe the same as me, that Megsy has been caught lying about sending that email to her dad. Do you think Megsy's been lying about sending that email to her dad after his leg was amputated? I do. What do you guys think? If you believe that she is lying about this email, then please hit that like button as your voting tool. Like I say, just the quickest and easiest way for me to gauge your guys' opinion to see if you actually agree with me or not. I can see here that 486 of you are definitely agreeing with me. Let's see if there's any more of you out there that believe that Megsy's lying about sending this email to her dad. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the meantime. Sarge, hey up, Sarge, how's it going? Saying, ooh, she makes me want to drink myself stupid. Tell me about it, right? Tell me about it. Let's see what else you guys are saying. So we have got Aussie Queen. Thank you so much for the $7.99 sugar bucks. Saying a little something for you, Steph. You're amazing. Oh, well, thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. So thank you so much for that, honey. Let's see what else you guys are saying. See. Yes, the age-old rumour that Megxie is older than she claims to be. I've done a couple of videos on this. Chris, with all due respect, I believe Megxie is the age that she officially says she's at. I don't think she's older than she says. I've gone through the evidence and I've laid it out for you guys. Of course, you decide in the end whether you think she's lying about her age or not, but I don't think she's lying about her age. Respectfully, I really, really don't, mate. But there we go. Let's see. Hey, Michelle from Royal Daily Tea in the house. Hey up, mate. How's it going, hon? Oh my goodness. Everyone, guys, I mean, support the whole crew. I mean, of course, right? But Michelle from Royal Daily Tea, if you haven't done so already, make sure you go across and you subscribe to her. She has, like, the best interviews that she does, right? Particularly those with HG Tudor. When she teams up with HG Tudor, I'm like, do that. Yes! That's like life for me. So, guys, you need to see Michelle team up with HG Tudor. She does that pretty much on the regular. Go across to her channel right now. Subscribe. You will not regret it. And you can thank me later. There you go. Carol says the government wants to shut Harry up. What? By doing this government review, it's going to shut Harry up? No. No. Something else is going on here. Like, legitimately. Something else is happening here. And I'm not liking it. My spidey senses are coming up here. And I'm like, something's wrong with this picture. Something's wrong with this picture, I'm telling you. All of a sudden, out of the blue, the government's going to review his risk status. That could mean that he gets the security that he's been fighting for all along. Something's going on. Something more is going on here under the scenes. And me not likey. Me not likey. Something stinks. Chris, thank you so much for another very generous £10 sugar bucks. Saying, pathetic warning. Nos preoccupamos nuestra parte. The threat of legal action has to be met with secured funds. Hope your tree is gorgeous like you, boss. If you're talking about my Christmas tree, hell yeah. It's up, the baubles are on, the stars at the top, the lights are on. It's awesome. Me likey. But yeah, I'm still shocked at this. I really, really am. This has come out of the blue. This has totally come out of the blue. Aussie Queen, you missed me chat, Steph? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Not at all. I didn't all. I've read them all, haven't I? No. I'll just double check. As you again, Aussie. No? No? Not that I can tell, Aussie. If you tell me which chats I've missed, please let me know. But not that I can tell. From YouTube anyway, and what it's telling me. Sorry if I have. I don't know. Let me know. In the meantime, another thank you to Denise for that wonderful little sugar bucks into me PayPal. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. And thanks for messaging me actually and letting me know. Because, yeah, it looks like it was sent anonymously. So I wouldn't have known who it was from, really. So thank you for that, Denise. Appreciate your face. Still here, sneaky at work. Hey, just don't get into trouble. I don't want you to get fired because of me. Let's not go with that narrative, yeah. Let's see. Oh, I think we should end on this. Yeah. So thank you so much to everyone so far that's been using the like button as your voting tool. Hit the like if you think that Megsy did lie about sending that email to her dad. 507 of you have hit that like button, indicating to me that yes, you do believe, as I do, that Megsy has lied about emailing her dad. This is the thing. Every time we get 500 likes, we achieve a monkey. So get your dancing monkey shoes on for this one, will ya? Monkey time, yeah. So thank you so much to everyone that's helped us achieve a monkey for this stream. Appreciate your faces. With that being said, that is it for today's extra special Daily Nerd Live. My goodness. And I can only imagine how much more is going to come out of all this. So if you don't want to miss out on any of this news, then make sure on your way out you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Stef Alter Nerd. Thank you so much to everyone that's tuned in live, whether you're watching on YouTube or on X. I appreciate your faces. Thank you so much to everyone that's subscribed here on YouTube or followed me here on X. Thank you so much to everyone that's liked this stream. Appreciate your faces. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers to YouTube channel, but also as well the new followers over on X. I appreciate all your faces there. Thank you so much to everyone that's kept me company in the live chat. An extra special thank you to those that were able to send me a couple of sugar bucks my ways. You guys are amazing. Thank you so, so much. With that being said, it's now 11:30 at night. I need to remind myself what sleep is. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, wherever you are in the world. Have a wonderful week ahead. And I'll see you tomorrow. Laters, guys.